solution. You tell me I'm doing everything wrong until you finally say that everything's right again. Could you, for once, could you just work with me? Work with me, stream. Just stop being so off in life. Just stop being red. Stop being red. I'll take that lag as a no. Jesus. Oh, hey, everyone. Alright, I guess you're just gonna be like that for a bit. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Things are happening. And we'll see how long this lasts until it doesn't last anymore. I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be an hour-long stream. If not, maybe 30 minutes, depending on the actual circumstances of people showing up. I'm telling you, man. Like, the more I look at this unsupported live stream, it's red, it's not moving, and it's just telling me I'm doing everything wrong. It just ticks me off. Bane of human existence, indeed. Especially when nothing has changed literally from every other time I have done the live stream. And yet now it's telling me that everything's wrong. I have not moved from this position. Seeing a Joker movie? Probably. It looks interesting. I'm probably not going to watch it in theaters. I'm probably going to watch it when it comes out on DVD, to tell you the truth. But it does look like an interesting Joker movie. Gandalf versus Dracula. Okay, interesting matchup. I don't know if you're talking about Ganondorf or actually talking about a potential matchup with Gandalf and Dracula. It's been a long time since I watched Lord of the Rings, so I can't really say yes or no to that. But if you're talking about Ganondorf versus Dracula, yes, it is an interesting matchup. And I can't say it's not an interesting matchup for Gandalf. There you go. Golden rule, YouTube can and will do dumb stuff whenever it wants. Yeah, and now the stream life is back. It is now green after showing me for 2 minutes that it wasn't. So, yeah. Pretty much. Who would you want to fight? Ruby Rose? Last time I checked, I don't know if they ever brought it up, but for me, yeah, I thought Ruby Rose's like main person that most people will want her to fight is Maka. Have no clue if we're actually gonna do it, like anytime soon. I mean, it's kind of like when Ben said in one of the Death Battle casts that sooner or later we will be doing Dio versus Alucard. Sooner or later, but right now we just don't know. But Maka seems to be the best choice for Ruby. I, for one, kind of sort of agree, because there's not many other Scythe users that I can name off the top of my head that would be a good match for Ruby. But there's that. If I think properly, I think I might be able to come up with another Scythe user. Marluxia would stomp Ruby without little to no effort, so I can't say Marluxia will be a good Scythe user to throw at Ruby. Even with her Silver Eyes, I mean, it probably won't even do anything to him. Aloha, Pax. Nothing much. Mostly just living out life until until Monday starts. And when Monday starts, that's when all of my life will just be working. Ganondorf, second time in FL. Can we go for a 2-win streak? You can try. Like most others. When it comes to like people who come back after a while, like Batman, like I'm really hoping we're not doing another Batman. I can't count the DBX because that's a DBX, but man, Batman has a hard time on Death Battle. Dracula stomped Ganon, happy about that too. Dracula, hey, Dracula avenging my boy Bowser. You look tired. Just wake up. Nope. Actually, I fixed my. To tell you the truth, for the longest time, I had the worst sleep schedule. I've been going to sleep around 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning, that sort of thing, and then waking up at like 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning. But I have since stayed up all day yesterday and went to sleep around 10 o'clock at night, and now my sleep schedule is pretty much fixed. I've been up for a few hours. I think that's just my face now. See any Pokemon Sun and Moon or Loyal League episodes? Yeah, I've been watching Sun and Moon. I've been seeing that. The only thing I can say about Sun and Moon is that Guzzlord's scream is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Like, for real, I cannot and will not ever like any other Ultra Beast more than Guzzlord now, because that scream is just amazing. It's just, he is living his life in never-ending torment. And it's hilarious. As for Ash's League in general, I just got through watching a video that pretty much emphasized everything I had a problem with when it comes to the league. Yes, I'm happy that my boy Ash won. It's finally happened. Except it happened in the, I have to admit, worst way possible. I really don't like how the local league was both structured, how there was no 6v6 battles like all the other leagues were, and how everything about it had incompetent trainers to not really built up properly rivals other than Gladion. And plus, don't even be started with the Hal versus Ash battle. That was like probably the worst dip in all of Pokemon, to tell you the truth. But despite all those problems, still happy that Ash won. But I think I would have been a lot happier if he won the Kalos League or the Sinnoh League, because it actually looked like he was competent enough to win. And this time he incompetent his way to competency, and the final battle led up to a counter of a counter that was countered into a counter. And it's like, how is that more epic than a giant Futun Rasen Shuriken thrown by a Battle Bond-inspired Greninja throwing at a Charizard who was showcased he could destroy and fight on par with gods? So it's like, okay, I guess I could deal with that. Again, I was happy he won. Fun times, but hey, at least it's better than nothing. Yeah, no, I know, dude. Ever since my internship ended, I have been bored. I have just been bored. Like, a part of me was like, okay, at this time I could do like reaction videos and stuff like that. Now that I have the time, but then I'll be giving my subscribers false hope that this is gonna be an upcoming recent thing and stuff like that. And I was like, that's not gonna happen. Once I get back into the job, all these videos are pretty much be moot again. So I'm not gonna give you guys false hope that I'm gonna be going back to my old schedule of doing multiple videos. So not to mention I was also doing some school stuff in between those times as well, so I still had to do that. The fact that Shadow died twice, not ignoring the fact that Shadow died twice. I'm just bringing up the fact that Batman came in and died more times than literally any other character. Goku would be jealous how many times he has died, how many times Batman has died at that point. All right. It has nothing to do with consistent people. There have been more than double people. You can go to the Death Battle Wiki, where they keep track of all the times a returning combatant comes in and also died at the same time. By the way, if you played a Sekiro game, you would know Shadows always die twice. Take that, Mike. Also, now that you work with them, may I make a request? You can make as many requests as you want. I can't guarantee if it'll ever come out at any point in history. You can always make your request in the Death Battle in the Death Battle link that they have in every single video of all the things that you can throw at them. But sure, I guess. Please have a train fight at some point. I don't care how, but imagine how cool animation would be for a train. Like, here's the thing when it comes to, like, script writing and storyboard telling it in general. When you have a script, that script has to be followed because as much as I, as a storyboard artist, wants to add a few things, I was lucky I was able to add the Sasuke Rinnegan feat in the fight in general. But when it comes to a script, the script writer is taking into account all the sprites that they have if it's a sprite fight, so they don't go overboard. Because as much as people tend to agree with one another, let's say in the Sasuke versus Hiei fight, it's like, why didn't Sasuke use planetary devastation? Well, you see, guys, planetary devastation has a lot of things going on. So much, in fact, that the animation itself would be like 5 minutes if we have to incorporate planetary devastation, all of his Rinnegan abilities and stuff like that, which I understand. In a real fight, Sasuke would use these abilities, but in our fight, where we are limited in time and scope and sprites, we kind of have to work with what we have. So I get the fact. That fact. As for a train fight, I get it. That animation would be sick. If it's a 2D fight, it would be hard. In a 3D fight, I can definitely see them do better with it. And I think maybe, hopefully down the line, I can probably throw in there, hey, maybe in the script they're fighting on a train. I'll do my best. But again, I'm just a storyboard artist. It's not like I'm an actual writer. Anyway, my sleep schedule, fine. It's nice. Good to hear. I need to fix my sleep schedule too. Do I need to look at Guzzler's Cry now? Yes, please. Please. It's great. It's fantastic. Guzzler's Cry is amazing. I'll never not be mad about the Sinnoh League. I don't think anyone would not be mad ever not be mad by the Sinnoh League. I mean, the Tobias, 2 legendaries. Are you serious? We should be happy that our boy Ash defeated those 2 legendaries before really going down, really showcasing that he was the only that Tobias had the only challenge being Ash. That's the only takeaway from that entire exchange. Screw Tobias. All right, even Ash had the mindset of, wait, I won. Yeah, even he couldn't believe it. It's like a guy who's been aiming for victory was so shocked that he won. Come on. Oh, hey Sandy, thanks for the $1. Ash, I won. Oh, time to go to England. According to the Pokemon anime, it looks like they're going to be going to a whole bunch of other regions as well. It kind of correlates with something that I wanted to do with Ash for a while, and that if he won a league, as much as him winning a league is cool, I would have liked it better if he won every league, really showcasing and doing a dynamic of Pokemon Master thing. As much as we like to go back and forth about what exactly a Pokemon Master even is, I would suggest that a Pokemon Master is better than one league championship. So having Ash go to other leagues and probably being an even better trainer than he is now, can probably go back to the first league he ever lost and win it. And then continue on that cycle with more friends and family and stuff like that, whatever. That's why I want to happen, but it's probably not going to happen. Because it took the writers this long just to give him this first win. So it's like, for all we know, when he goes to England, he loses the England League because, we got to keep up that, we got to bring back that streak somehow. Really hoping that's not the case. Ivan, South Glad. Where? Thanks. I think the Sekiro comment and in my assistant for today. Thanks. Oh, no problem. Happy to help. Orange Island. For me, when I was growing up, the Orange Islands and the Battlefront tier were counted for me because like these guys had competent trainers. They clearly have a status, and Ash took them down with skill and great motivation. He took down Reggie. He took down some Reggies for Christ's sake. While not legendaries, mythicals are pretty freaking strong too. I count those as real victories because it really showed Ash's level of consistent showcasing that he's actually not a bad trainer. But when it comes to actual leagues, people are like, we need to see him win an actual from the video games league. And I understand that as well, but you need to stop discrediting Orange Islands and the Battlefront tier. People keep forgetting that he won Battlefront tier. He won the Battlefront tier. Man, I tried to super chat, but YouTube won't let me. I referred earlier comment. YouTube is gonna YouTube. Yep, pretty much. Also, just a thought: could alternate timelines make it into Death Battle? For example, I would love to see something like Fleetway Supersonic. If you seen or look it up, Fleetway Supersonic. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure. Considering that we can have people like Spider-Man 2099 and Batman Beyond, I can't see why we can't use other iterations of a character, such as, okay, this is still a Spider-Man and this is still a Batman. So technically Batman came into Death Battle 4 times, but when it comes to Bruce Wayne, he came in 3 times. Still bored? Not really. Right now I'm occupying my time with something. Yeah, and Battle Frontier was a good series. I can't believe people keep forgetting. It's like, but hey guys, remember he won the Orange Islands. So like, what about Battle Frontier? That was awesome too, right? That was awesome too, right? So many good fights. Thoughts on Sasuke versus Hiei? I do not agree with the outcome, but I understand the logic they came to. I think that's the primary thing that I need to emphasize. It's like, I do not agree with the outcome of Sasuke versus Hiei. When I first came into Death Battle and they're like, okay, this is your first boarding, it's Sasuke versus Hiei. It's like, sweet. Man, I know both these characters and I love both of them. So if Sasuke wins, right? He's like, no, Hiei does. And like, I'm sorry, what? And then they were like, yeah, I know, we were surprised too. And we were going back and forth. I did my best for my boy Sasuke. I was like, I really think Sasuke should win this. Look, I know you guys don't like the whole, like the deal when people really come at you and say stuff like that. You tried your best to get the proper outcome, and I always see that in all your videos. So, I honestly think that if Sasuke loses this, you're gonna get a Hal versus Ben scenario here. You're not gonna get a lot of people liking it. And it sucks because maybe if I was during the actual research process, I probably would have actually helped in the process of Sasuke maybe winning. But since we were so far in development and the animation was already needed to be made at that point, I really didn't have any chance of really changing their mindset. And even if I did, I wouldn't want them to put them through backbreaking work to try to get the quote-unquote proper outcome. So it's like, my thoughts on Sasuke versus Hiei is, I still think Sasuke should have won, but I understand the conclusion they came to with their research. So I can't argue with that, because I couldn't argue with that. Because I'm not a calculator. Dante, DMC reboot versus Kechi Omish. I don't want to touch the reboot of Dante with a 10-foot pole. The one time I dropped Pokemon Ash wins a major league. Greninja one, by the way. Yeah, same here. A lot of people. You don't know how many people I've talked to who have said they dropped the anime because they were sick and tired of Ash losing, especially at the Kalos League where he should have won. All the pieces were in place, yet you still have him lose. I'm done with your series. The Alola League, if there is even going to be one, because the Alola only had island trials and stuff like that, and the more comedic nature, the more laid back humor, the stuff like that, it really detracted a lot of people from watching Pokemon at that day. Not saying that it made sure everyone who ever liked Pokemon is now diluted from it, but there's a lot of people I know that dropped it thanks to Kalos, and are now disappointed they weren't able to see the journey from the beginning to end in the Alola, and he finally wins in the most weirdest way possible. So you're saying that people who appear on Death Battle can also appear as their alternate egos? Maybe. I don't know. It depends. It depends on the actual context of exactly what we're talking about. I don't see us ever doing it, but I'm not saying it's impossible to ever do something like that. It's like Bucky ever since Bucky O'Hare came into Death Battle, a completely out of nowhere character that literally no one knew about before Death Battle came into the Death Battle. I really think sky's the limit sometimes. Yeah, Frontier Brian had a crush on him. It's like Ash has a lot of moments where he just is a ladies' man, kind of like how Naruto is a ladies' man in a lot of the movies. It's like, and they don't know it. That's the thing. Speaking of Pokemon, no, is still one of my biggest annoyances. They make Shidex the same theory. His old Charizard back. Stuff crazy, yo. Yeah. Honestly, people probably don't. The islands mostly don't. The islands mostly do being a side quest. It didn't feel like a side quest to me. I get that. Heck, you could argue that the Orange Leagues and the Alola League build-up and execution are almost exactly alike. What was going on in the Orange Islands? You were going to different islands, doing different things that weren't just Pokemon battles, but also trials and doing various activities other than doing battles. And then the final battle is essentially just a very strong dude and not a champion. So it's like, why is this suddenly, just because now it was like a mainstay game, now suddenly it's more important? I don't get it. Also, I just noticed this. You have a bloody Kill I Kill poster, don't you? Yeah. It's over there. Why? Oh, thanks, Arceus. Aang versus Yugo. Aang versus Yugo. Now, when it comes to Yugo, he's one of those, like, Bucky O'Hare type characters where I see the popularity with Yugo, but in the grand scheme of things, I believe one of the reasons why Dracula, because I did hear that Ganondorf was supposed to fight Dracula when Bowser was his opponent, but they chose Bowser because because Dracula felt like he wasn't as popular at the time. But now they pretty much thrown away that type of mentality and just wants to bring in fights that people have been asking for a long time. So that's why Dracula's coming in now. And I can see Yugo being another one of those things. If enough people ask for Yugo, they'll bring in Yugo in a death battle. I would use Dante proper, but I think he would be too powerful. Granted, good point. Are you subscribed to IGN? I don't believe I am. Also, please don't tell me your channel will effectively die on Monday. Will it cry? It's gonna still have MLP episodes and the occasional reactions that I do want to make because I find it appropriate to show my reactions to it. But when it comes to like frequent updates, you're probably gonna get a dead week of nothing, and then maybe one or two things every now and then. Do you watch Hunter x Hunter? And if so, who would you want in a death battle? I want Gon versus Deku. I think that'll be a good fight until, you know, Gon goes full adult mode and destroys Deku. But there's that. The Orange Islands were probably the inspiration for Alola. I would not be surprised if that was exactly the case. According to Death Battle, according to a lot of things that Death Battle goes through, a lot of things are just coincidence sometimes. When they have a battle that is quote unquote Halloween based or Christmas based or based around a particular holiday. In one of their cast Death Battles, they were surprised that when they did the Dragonzord versus Mechagodzilla, they were surprised to know that they killed off Tommy on his birthday. So it's like, hey, Fudge. So more than nothing, just like hearing from you, dude. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm doing my best to stay on YouTube as long as feasibly possible. I've been here for 7 years, apparently. Coming up on 8. And I would definitely hate just to leave at this time when I have so many people who actually likes hearing my voice. So, yeah. When it comes to actual career job and where I'm actually making money to keep myself alive, yeah, definitely to give that priority. Will that kill Gon as well? You have a point there. I'm not gonna say anything more. And no, it has nothing to do with the fact that Gon is coming in Death Battle. I believe there's no Gon Death Battle coming at all. No. It's more along something else that I said. But yeah, no. You can give as many Death Battle ideas here if you want. Just don't expect them to come around anytime soon or have me actually display them in like a forum or something. If you want a Death Battle, you have to do it yourself and submit it in. I watched Ben go through like a bunch of lists and typing down potential matchups that he finds interesting and what seems to be the most popular amongst them. So we're listening. Give it time. If you read the manga, you know Deku will be broken. Oh, dude. I can't say any. See, that's just it. I'm caught up. All I can say is I'm caught up with the manga. And I already know that Deku has already the huge potential to be broken. All you have to know is One for All is a lot more powerful than just punching people really hard. That's all of you need to know who have not read My Hero Academia and should read My Hero Academia. But again, right now, Gon has him beat. Even with the current powers that he has. Well, if you could live stream for an hour every weekend, then I would be happy. Then, yeah, you're okay every weekend. Yeah, I'll see if I can do live streams every now and then. Just don't expect them to come out in Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday are probably the only days I'll be able to do that for the upcoming months. Nox versus Dio. Not bad. Time Master duel. Not bad. Reggie versus all the characters in Smash Bros. Like, here's the thing when it comes to, like, Alucard versus Dio. I hate Alucard versus Dio because, really, Alucard has Dio beat even with Time Stop. Because Alucard has way superior regeneration and a whole bunch of other different things. Unless we give Dio his abilities that he showcased in Part 1 along with his stand powers in Part 3. Then Dio has a way better chance of actually beating Alucard. That's all I gotta say. Reggie versus all the characters in Smash Bros. His body will be Reggie. How'd I get here? I don't know. Walking Gunther, Valkyrie Chronicles versus Girls Underpants. Alright. Tank battle. What does it mean if a character is broken? A character is broken. Alright. What's a good example? When a character is broken, it basically means that the powers and abilities that they have can pretty much be like the hard counter for almost anything a person can throw at them. Let's take Goku, for instance. Goku is a very strong character, right? But if he goes up against a person who can literally turn blood at a 5,000 meter radius into poison, literally all the blood in your body is now just poison. That's a broken ability. You're broken. You can beat Goku so easily simply because you can manipulate the one thing that he can't control or help stop. That's a broken ability. Being turned blood into poison, just like that, from any radius, that's a broken ability. Prime example. So if you have characters that can literally snap their fingers and reality itself can be warped, has a body that can tank any amount of explosions, basically the pure definition of a no limits fallacy actually being applied to somebody. It's like, I've showcased that when I burn a match down to my fingertips, I don't have any pain to fire. Meaning that I could be thrown into the sun and not even care. That sort of thing. Yeah. To mess with people. Nora versus Thor. If we only did Death Battle... Okay, Nora versus Thor would actually be a DBX, because then Nora actually has a chance to win via voting. But I highly doubt that people would choose Thor over Nora on a vast majority scale. Heck, people pick Inuyasha over Blake. Of all things. Heck, I chose Inuyasha over Blake because in an actual fight, I believe Inuyasha would beat Blake. And plus, there it is. Even though I am a cat guy. And Blake is one of my favorite characters. So it's like, Are you gonna do an art stream again? If I ever have enough money to actually break my... If I ever have enough money to buy myself a Cintiq, and then yes. But until that day comes, which will probably take a few months, if not a whole year, then maybe. Superman, Saitama, Ruby Rose... Rose versus Maka. Yeah, that's always been a prominent thing. In fact, I think I heard in Death Battle about that kind of matchup. Not like we're gonna do it anytime soon. I actually don't think that's on the list anywhere at all. So don't expect it to come anytime soon. Probably, hopefully next year. Hopefully next year in season 8, if we get greenlit for that. That we'll have that. But I heard something that even Monty himself thought that Maka would win the battle. But again, this is back when Monty was still around. So who knows how powerful that he judged Ruby based on volumes 1 through 3 and how powerful she is now compared to volumes 4 through 6. Even though, to tell you the truth, I don't think Ruby is even twice as strong as she used to be from volume 3 and onward. So it's not like it's a huge difference. Yeah, Saitama is a better example. When it comes to doing art for an official company, I am not exempt from. I am not exempt from doing art of any kind now that I'm working at a company. I can do any art that I want, any videos that I want, as long as I am under the moniker that I understand that the characters from Ruby or any other character from Rooster Teeth cannot be just made unless given proper permission and procedure guidelines from the company itself. Like, for instance, if I make an art stream that has all my original characters, let's say all the characters that I've ever made and all my DeviantArt right now, they can't do anything to me, and neither would they care to do anything to me, because that's all my characters, and that's just me doing my downtime, and probably even trying to make a little bit extra money on the side if it's a stream that's getting, like, money through, like, stuff. So that's at that. But if I'm trying to do another Ruby versus my character battles that I've been doing on my channel, then I would actually have to talk to them and see if that would be an okay thing for me to do. Because the whole thing about that is, let's say I try to do my own death battles, but then it turns out that those death battles are actually coming out soon, and I actually have the same outcome, and then people can misconstrue that as a way of me giving off a spoiler and breaking my disclosure agreement, which I can see. So there's that. So is that why Emerald from Ruby is broken? A little bit. Her ability to just put you in a genjutsu that so far no one can seem to break out of, I might add, just casually, is a very broken ability, especially if you're part of a team. Roman Tortrick and Neo versus Ashi and Bob Overwatch. Criminals with mute sidekick. I can see that. Dude, name me 5 broken characters that are well written. Saitama. There's Saitama. There's Naruto. There's Saitama, Naruto. Saitama, Naruto. What's that guy's name? I know I have him on my brain, but I don't. Those are the only 2 I can come out at a time. Oh, Giorno Giovanna. Giorno Giovanna from JoJo's Part 5. Johnny Joestar from Part 7. There has to be at least one more I can come up with. Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club. We would probably use both, as long as the feats in both things do not contradict the statements or whatever that we can see her do. As long as it supports her ability. Also, thought, could Silver Eyes affect Black Blood? That's just it. We have to do research on that. Because right now, it's very cut and dry about how Silver Eyes is supposed to work. Is it like a rejuvenator thing via Spinel? It's like, okay, the rejuvenator works on gems, but it doesn't work on organics, or pretty much anything else that isn't gems. So, putting the rejuvenator in any fight against a non-gem opponent for Spinel is useless. What about Silver Eyes? It seems to work on Grim, but we only see it work on Grim. Could Black Blood be an equivalency to what Grim are made out of? We can make that assumption, but since it's Black Blood and the in-universe equivalent to nothing about Grim, we can't necessarily say yes 100% that Silver Eyes should work. But if they do work, then yes, Maka's pretty much effed. But if they don't, it doesn't matter. If I had to choose, I'd say no. If I really had to choose, if Silver Eyes should work on Black Blood, I would say no, because thanks to the origins of where Silver Eyes even came from, I'd say no. Soul Eater might work. Yep. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. When you have Maka versus Ruby, it's not just Maka. You also have you also have this. I forget the name of the guy. I think it's Soul. Fighting alongside her as well. So it's not like it's actually gonna be kind of like weird. But hey, Ruby called Crescent Rose like an actual person, so it makes sense. Dog Undertale. Would you consider Dragon Ball power level cohesion to be coherence to be good enough? I guess. The power levels in Dragon Ball are stupid, so I can't really say about that. Batman versus Light, Death Note, who's a better detective? Batman. Are you joking? Like, I'm not trying to discredit Light at all. Not trying to credit Light at all. But you're looking at a guy who's kept his identity secret from hundreds of millions of people for years, along with finding and deducing various things in like a matter of seconds to even a matter of milliseconds in certain other regards, and even coming up with things before his actual brain catches up with the fact that he already solved the riddle of a masterpiece, and is able and is smart enough to create a suit that can rewrite the fabrics of reality itself, versus a guy who got his identity found out by a kid with a kid with an albino kid with an eye problem. All right. I'm both hopefully and afraid of Sakura Haruno being in a death battle. We're gonna do her eventually, now that Sasuke came in. I just finished reading Soul Eater, and I don't think Maka is that strong. Her main strength is keeping other people from losing their sanity and buffing them. What about the time what about that time she one punched a continent buster? I'm pretty sure that's a pretty interesting feat. Granted, it was anime, but anime and manga, we have to put them both together if we're gonna have an actual result. And Maka did punch a continent buster, and she won. So, Kenjiro, in some cases, Goku. Ah, Jesus. Oh, you wanted to say L. Okay. I know Seth did, by the way. Yeah, Seth the programmer already made a video showcasing how Batman would destroy Light. But if Batman can destroy Light, he can pretty much destroy L too. I don't see how L is exponentially better than Light, even if we're actually going with L. Versus Grim, negative emotions. Unverse versus Grim. Like, someone brought this up before. And to tell you the truth, I actually think the Grim have a better chance that I initially gave them. Because if I remember correctly, that's just it. Are we counting all the bosses of the Unverse? All the boss Unverse in the games? If we're counting all the boss Unverse in the games, along with all the Grim, then I believe the Unverse will win. To tell you the absolute truth. But if it's just like standard Unverse with standard Grim, then Grim wins. Because the fodder Unverse are tiny little buggy looking things, while the standard Grim are giant Beowulfs. And I'm pretty sure if you put them in a fight, Beowulf's are gonna win. Hi there. Well, hello there. I meant to say, Seven Deadly Sins, and Escanor is the best. Yes, Escanor is the best. I want to get that boy, my shining boy, my Albright in a death battle. You think it's a good opponent for Frieza? Who's a good opponent for Frieza? I don't know. To tell you the truth. Any Dragon Ball character at this point? I don't know. You gotta talk to like people who are really versed with comics to put anyone else from Dragon Ball up against another person. Because it's definitely not Mewtwo. I hate anyone who ever thinks that Mewtwo has a chance of actually beating Frieza, unless it's the alternate ending for DBX. But the chances of that actually happening are slim to none. And then Superman will be like, "I'm not dying because I'm not a human. I'm not part of your planet. I am an alien." And the Death Note strictly states in one of its rules that it's a human being. Quack. Studio shows on Rooster Teeth each have their own room equipment to work on. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Again, I've only been mostly in the Death Battle area, and Torian actually got through uploading a Twitter video of them apparently doing rock paper scissors on the last Screw Attack chair that they have. So that's the Death Battle area that you can see. Netflix adaptation. Lapis Lazuli versus Katara Avatar. Lapis destroys Katara. Main reason, if you ever come up with how Katara can take the entire world's ocean and make it into a pillar, then maybe Katara has a chance. But since Lapis can do that casually, with a broken gem, I might add. And not to mention, even if Katara had the full moon out and she could probably use bloodbending, it wouldn't matter because Lapis doesn't have blood. So it's like Lapis destroys Katara. As much as I like the whole dynamic of waterbender versus a waterbender, you gotta bring in either a more powerful waterbender or a weaker waterbender to fight Katara. I would imagine you would count everything and anything, pretty much, as long as it doesn't contradict anything. Like for instance, let's say this character dodged light at one point, but then he gets tagged by bullets multiple times after dodging light. That is an outlier now. It is like plot convenience, how that probably happened all in all. Like, how do you go from dodging light to then getting tagged by bullets on multiple occasions? Because then if that was the case, then Goku should be an outlier in of itself, because he gets grazed by bullets at one point in Super, yet he should be well beyond light speed right now. But again, it's all about context. Goku is rusty, and he also takes things less seriously than most others. It's very hard to calculate people who are inconsistent with their own power sometimes. Are you taking a look at the last Death Battle cast? Yes, I have. The fact that you guys have is the main thing. I'm gonna be doing a joke with that in my my latest reaction in today's episode of MLP. I'm gonna be doing something with that. Trust me. I did not actually expect them to go that far. To be mentioned, definitely. Especially what it's like. I hate my name. Can I say that? I hate my name so much. It does not sound like a professional name at all. It's like, you gotta thank this person. Like, why'd you have to say the full name? And why'd you have to go that far? You know, Ben, you didn't have to actually bring up the fact that I have a manga. It's like, oh man, I was over the moon hearing that, because again, just because I'm working for Death Battle doesn't mean I'm not a fan anymore. Every time they come up with a new Death Battle cast, every time they come up with a new Death Battle in general, or a new preview, or anything else they post on their channel, I still watch it as a fan, and then just to be sitting there as a fan drinking my Coke, and it's just like, oh. Oh, jeez. It took me a while to recover from that, to tell you the truth. I'm going back on the lockdown. I'm going back soon, so give me 2 days. Katakuri versus All Might. Katakuri. All Might's strong, but Katakuri can absorb and pretty much tank most of All Might's attacks and overwhelm All Might with his abilities. If you're going on that front. And plus, Katakuri has actual precognition, unlike Sharingan precognition. Sharingan precognition revolves around Rubber and Sharingan actually looking at the opponent to understand his muscle tension, while Katakuri's precognition is literally him looking into the future. So, did you see that there is an official KFC dating sim? Yes, and I'm never going to play it. Biscuit versus Tsunade Badass Grandmas. How do they choose between manga and anime if the anime differs from the source? See, manga wasn't finished, so they had to make up an ending. How's that weighs in? All right, how that weighs in? I have no clue, to tell you the truth, but this is my take of how I believe they would probably do it. Let's take Toriko for example. Toriko had a non-canon ending with its anime, and yet the manga is still going onward. Now we have to take the ending that they had at Toriko and compare it to the feats that they show later on in the manga. If the feats correlate and match up properly, let's say we can compare what happened at the end of Toriko's anime with something that Toriko has done in the manga, then we can count it because it's like it's confirming that Toriko has this level of strength or can be beyond that level of strength depending on how the ending actually occurred. And also we take Bleach for instance. Bleach had an unfinished anime, and then we had to go with everything that happened in the manga, and we did the calculations properly. So depending on how it works out, that's how things are going to be structured. Frieza versus Goku, but with Ed and Eddie sound effects. So that's some of my favorite videos on YouTube. If Vanitas was in Death Battle, could he use the Unverse since he creates them? It's plausible. It's not impossible for people who can summon minions to use those minions in a fight. Look at a Doctor Doom versus Darth Vader fight. They brought up the fact that Doctor Doom always has mechs at his disposal, so he's probably going to use it as a distraction at some point in a fight, and so that's what he does. So if Vanitas can just summon the Unverse, just like how Captain Falcon can summon his racer. I can't see why we can't give him the ability to summon the Unverse. And Superman isn't my name. Good on you. That's actually a pretty good point. I mean, Death Note. So that means Death Note can kill Saitama? See, on face value, you would think yes. But on another case, probably not. Because you have to remember, another rule in the Death Note, that it has to be in the realm of possibility. The only way you can kill a person is if it's in the realm of possibility. So since Saitama is a human, he can be affected by the Death Note. But since he's so broken, it's actually possible that the Death Note can't kill him. Let's say Saitama gets killed by a moving vehicle, and that vehicle comes in and Saitama one-punches it. And then the Death Note's like, sorry man, that was impossible. You can't kill him that way. Dies from a heart attack. He has such a strong will and a strong heart that it can't be affected. Like, stuff like that. Again, Saitama is so broken, even a Death Note probably can't come up with an actual real-life equivalency of having him die. So you also have to take that into account. I know a lot of the Death Note's rules, shockingly. Does earth bending work on gems? It should. Since Toph and other earthbenders have shown to be able to just manipulate crystals casually, because crystals are basically earth, I can't see why Toph versus like Garnet can't just kind of rip the gems out of her hard-like construct body, to tell you the absolute truth, or just break them outright. Jiren versus Infinite, who's more disappointing villain? Infinite. Jiren, while disappointed, he does serve his purpose, being a wall for Goku to come across. Infinite, he had a lot of potential to actually be a competent and interesting villain, but they squandered it. So at least Jiren played his part properly. Katara versus Demyx. Now that's actually a pretty interesting fight, but I still think Demyx takes the victory on the account that even without using his water, he's still a very strong dude. But let's say Katara can counter most of his water-based attacks, his water bubbles, his water clones, his water pillars, his water everything. Let's say she can counteract that. How can Katara hurt Demyx? Emeralds, Tari versus Infinite. Have you watched Hunter x Hunter? Yes. When they talked about you on the cast, I was so surprised and happy. You're telling me. You're telling me. Jesus Christ. Dude, it's cool, dude. Hearing your name come up, I was surprised too. Like, oh my gosh, I know. Hey, oh my gosh, I know that guy. Holy shit! Newfound respect for Death Battle for giving a mention to the MOP reactor I watch. To tell you the truth, look, honestly, I honestly thought they would not actually mention me. I thought I was just gonna be, I'm a good storyboard artist. That's all they need to know, and that's all anyone needs to know. I'm just the guy in the background, I'm like a roadie. You don't have to bring me up. I'm just happy to do my job and play my part. But to actually have them not only bring me up, but praise my storyboards as means of inspiration definitely threw me off guard, because it's like, I know my boards are okay, apparently good, but I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm the type of guy who takes praise given to him and throws at other people. As much as I like my boards, it's the animators that really brought my boards to life, so you really gotta really bring up to them. And yeah, they even brought up the fact that the 2D storyboard 2D artists freelance team did a great job. They did a fantastic job. Well, the thing with All Might, he is kind of a glass cannon, especially now. Yeah. It'd be to mention is something you used to watch. Now imagine these days you'll pull a DB cast. They talked about that, but since I was an intern, it'll be kind of weird to just have me in a Death Battle cast like that. I believe I'm gonna be in a Death Battle cast in another thing that I've worked on, so I'll be able to talk about my process and stuff like that via Death Battle cast. Or maybe something that I'm well versed in. Let's say like 2 other characters. Let's say if Naruto vs Ichigo was a thing, and I was around during that time, I could come into Naruto vs Ichigo and answer some questions, because I know Naruto and I know Bleach. So anyone who had questions about why he didn't do this or didn't do that, I can actually be well versed in helping and that sort of thing. So depending on the type of thing that they're actually gonna come up with, yeah. The day that I come in a Death Battle cast is the day that I know I'm gonna be like on this channel directing you to that, because I know a lot of you like to see me talk. Especially, again, I've been watching Death Battle for 9 years, and to be mentioned and to know that I've been helping them now, and the fact that they're really appreciative of that help nearly killed me. A 12-year-old kid working at a job that now he's truly a part of. It's like, oh, am I seeing that? Saitama versus Koro Sensei. Koro Sensei is strong, but not Saitama strong, even in forms of actual power scaling. Would he do it? The Toriko anime ended in such a dumb way. Yep, that's just it. It did. A lot of people will agree, including myself. Catafalcon can summon his racer. Catafalcon can summon his racer, yeah. God damn it, Captain. Fucking racer. Of course. Jasper versus Hulk or She-Hulk, your choice. Jasper versus Hulk or She-Hulk. It would make more sense to have She-Hulk, because She-Hulk doesn't have as big as feats as Hulk does. But I don't know much about She-Hulk, so maybe that's a good fight. Ness versus Sans? No. I want a couple of Death Battles with Kirito and Asa. A couple's Death Battle. I see why, because a couple's Death Battle would be interesting. Another couple based Death Battle, kinda, would be Steven and Connie versus Star and Marco. But the thing is, Star is like multiversal, so it's very hard to say, yeah, this is a proper fight, but I get it. I am now watching both this and the DB cast at the same time, so I can see this foretold mentioning. Seen it sooner if I knew. Yeah, it's the most recent Death Battle cast. It's the one where you have Sam and Hiei on it, and I get mentioned around the 12-13 mark. It's like, man, why? Why'd you do that? Why? You didn't have to, but you did it anyways, and I'm happy. I'm not happy. Zuko versus Roy Mustang. I can see that. So is the dream come true for you? Pretty much. I mean, again, I've been watching Death Battle for 12 years. Not 12 years. Since I was 12, for 9 years. So being a person, hearing Wiz and Boomstick, being a person who's been looking at their fights, enjoying, according to my list, everything but 6. So that's 115, and only 6 I have a problem with, and that's just a problem with. It's not like I hate them. yes, this is a dream come true. Especially, I was able to talk to a lot of storyboard artists who work on RWBY. And say what you want about RWBY. Say you like it. Say you hate it. I get it. It's not as great of an anime or a show that people will give it credit for. I like it. But being able to talk to these people, being able to work alongside these people on a show that I very much enjoy, despite, you know, any negative backlash that is given to it, I'm happy. So there's that. You, my dude. It's like one of those things. It's like, if I told a person, hey, I'm interning at Death Battle, and they're like, yeah, sure you are, buddy. And then you got this, and then you have the Death Battle cast come out. It's like, that could be any John. I've been seeing animation for almost 2 years, asking what's coming next a lot. I still think it's awesome that you done something pretty big. Yeah, especially, it's one thing to be like, at first I thought storyboard artist was just supposed to be there to give a visual representation as to what goes on in a script. So you don't really have any creative freedom at all. You just have to do what the script says and make it so that things can be easily seen for the animator's perspective. I thought I was going to play that role, but apparently I'm not only playing that role, but I'm able to do my own directing and saying, okay, I don't like this in the script very much. You mind if I do this? And then as long as I get approval, I can do it. And that's what makes it so great. The upcoming battles that I've done definitely have that. It's like, for anyone here who has not seen my animations of my RWBY characters versus my characters that's in my animations playlist, I would suggest giving them a watch and understanding exactly how I work with battle choreography and how I interpret people's movements and stuff like that. And when the new battles come out, you may actually notice my style of choreography in fights, and I'll be impressed. If by chance Dan from Dan Versus is chosen, time has come. My time has come. Thanks to YouTube Speed for saving my life. Yep, I watch everything in 2x speed. By the way, Thor MCU versus Suzui Deltarune. Since it's MCU Thor, it's definitely more of an actual battle, but Thor can tank a star for like almost a minute, so not sure how. Not to mention he has Stormbreaker, so not sure how she wins, but I get it. Toph versus Sandman. Toph, because just like it's Toph just like Gaara, they're gonna use the aforementioned. She can turn Sandman into rock and probably destroy him. Because I don't remember Sandman ever turning himself into a solid and getting himself back out. So yeah, Toph probably wins. Now, if you want Toph to lose against someone who can control sand, have her fight Crocodile from One Piece. Crocodile would destroy Toph like that. It helps. Versus Jenny Wakeman. Could CC be in a death battle, or is she disqualified because the code makes her immortal? Not sure. I really have to talk to them about that. Cinderpaw versus Azula. Not bad, considering that they're almost the same character. Most people who disagreed with Sasuke via Hiei still love the fight. That says a lot. Yeah, a lot of the reactions I saw, while disappointed with the outcome, they at least liked the fight. And that's like the main thing that I'm looking for whenever I look at people's reactions. It's like, as much as I get the back and forth with Hiei should have lost, Sasuke should have won, yada yada yada, did you at least like the animation in the fight? Because a lot of good animators worked on that, and apparently they followed my boards to the letter. So that's what we're looking for. People who enjoy the actual fight itself. And you know how many times, you know how many times, in many different reactions, that I've seen people say, "Oh man, it's the sprite animation again." Ugh, man, I don't like sprite animations. And then once you get like to the middle segment of the fight, you're like, "All right, I can get behind this." So I love that. I love that the most. When people are already underestimating how good the fight's going to be because it's all sprites. But due to the choreography, the 2D animation elements, and the overall height that the fight gives in general, really showcases, yes, me and the animators did our job correctly. And also, I can't say, I also can't skimp out the script writer. I think it was Ben who wrote that script. I think it was actually Ben who wrote that script. I think he had help. Obviously, probably had help, but Ben pretty much had a lot of what to say, what the script was going to go off of. So yeah, credit to Ben to even coming up with how that fight should go to begin with. So it's like we're a collective group of people who do our best to make good fights. Okay, hold on. Bill Cipher versus Discord. Bill Cipher, did you draw the part where Sasuke showed his eyes? I have, okay, what do you mean by draw? As in the animation portion itself? Because I didn't do any of the animation. The only thing I have done is the storyboard. In the storyboard, I had Sasuke do the same thing with showing his eyes, just like that. And then he just kind of just made it move better. But no. I'm doing my best not to say much because disclosure agreements, but there will be fights. There will be fights where you will see me animate stuff in them. This was not one of them. This is not one of them. But there will be fights in the future where you will see John Mitchell in the credits in animation aside from storyboard. Just saying that. However, I will say, when it comes to the... Okay, you know how the dragon was moving and how the Susanoo was moving? I was the director. I was... basically, everything that the Susanoo did is exactly what that was done in the boards. So, there's that. Yeah, axes are awesome. Though, that's what I can think of. Ah, gotcha. And Iron Trash, thanks for the $1. Jeez. Thor MCU versus Kratos, God of War. God of War Kratos would destroy Thor MCU. Mostly because Kratos, once again, Kratos is getting downplayed. Kratos beat Kronos. Kronos made his own time space, meaning that he beat a guy who can create his own time space. Kratos beats Kronos. Kratos beats Thor. Honestly, the immortal rule didn't stop them from using Deadpool and Lobo. Yeah, it depends if you put him up against a person who is immortal. You have to put him up against a person who can probably counteract any immortality. Not to mention, oh, also, if you really want to go far back, Rainbow Dash versus Starscream. Just have Rainbow Dash eat the spark. Done. And then Bison, only one. Being immortal, so suck. And eat. Okay, I get you. General Grievous versus Dr. Nefarious. General Grievous. But that's because I'm a General Grievous fanboy. Will you ever be on Death Battle Cast? We can only hope. I can't say anything for certain. In fact, I hate saying things for certain. So, when I go into Death Battle, I'm going in with the mentality that I'm just going to be a good storyboard artist, and that's it. When it comes to the Death Battle Cast, when it comes to any other side activities that they do, I do not expect me to actually participate in those. Not because I believe they won't allow me to do it. It's because I'm an introvert. I don't really like to be in the spotlight. So unless they tell me, so unless they tell me and they're like, hey, do it. And then I'll be like, okay, fine. But I will not actively try to get into the Death Battle Cast. I will not actively try to do something out of my current job arrangement. Because that's just me. That's just how I work. Will you ever do a Death Battle? Good match for Saber, Fate. Don't know. To tell you the truth, I thought Saber would fight Link at this point, but apparently not. Yeah, I caught up with chat, which means, and it has been an hour, which means it's almost time to end off the stream now that I caught up with chat, now that people have run out of things to talk about. Yeah, out of all things in the prequels, there's a lot of things I like in the prequels. You can say on an objective standpoint that the prequels are bad, but you have to admit, a lot of things in the prequels actually are really good. General Grievous was a great addition to the Star Wars universe. Seeing him in many different other types of Star Wars things are great. Grievous is awesome. JonTron versus Nostalgia Critic. Considering that JonTron can apparently transcend time and space and beat the Emperor with Jock, which you have to give Jock to John. That's the Tron to his John. Then yeah, probably JonTron. Toffee versus Dr. Venomous. OKKO. I have not seen OKKO knowing anything about Dr. Venomous's abilities, so nah. But I gotta go with Toffee. Well, congratulations on starting your new job, and I hope you a good time with it. One person was afraid that they would kind of quote-unquote overwork me or find ways to overwork me, but to tell you the truth, guys, you're looking at a dude who's been sitting on his ass drawing ever since he was 6 years old. And as long as my job description says storyboard artist, that's all I'm going to be doing. Sitting on my ass drawing all day. So, I think I'm going to be pretty much fine. What video game character you want to see in Death Battle? Video game character? Akira from Persona 5. Characters show up, they're always compared to Goku. Why is that? Because Goku is the quintessential OP character. So if you have another OP character, you have to put him up against Goku as like a rite of passage. I'm only speaking for all the anime characters that actually believe that. I don't believe that. I believe if you have an OP character, let him be an OP character. He doesn't have to beat Goku to show his OPness. Haha! I said it. Genos versus Cyborg. That's the problem with Genos. A lot of people say... a lot of... see, if actual proper scaling is involved, Genos destroys Cyborg. At least Teen Titans Cyborg. I don't know much about, like, actual DC comic Cyborg, if he ever has, like, some cybernetic enhancements. But if we're going on, like, pure Cyborg here, and from what I know from Genos' feats, Genos should win. But since it's Genos... we have to have him lose. That's like the whole thing. Noctis versus Gilgamesh. Noctis, I believe. Anyone from Mischief Makers? I do not care who. Not sure. Sarber would win because Genos. Ahsoka in a death battle would be awesome. Yeah. Ahsoka would be great. Show a real strong female character. An actual well-written one at that. Horus, Mario, Leo, literally anyone will do. Gilgamesh, Final Fantasy versus Gilgamesh, Fate. Noctis versus Riku. Riku. Because Noctis' abilities are strong and can get him the edge in certain battles, but Riku has a consistent flow in his abilities. And it can be is compared to Sora. And Sora can dodge a light and Sora can dodge light. So yeah. I really wish I was there during the Sora versus Pit fight, because I have a good argument for Sora being a faster than light dodger. Alright? You can't win. I actually have logic for days. Well, alright. Seems as though that we've reached a conclusion here, ladies and gentlemen. All I can really say now is that... all I can really say now is... prepare yourselves. Because according to the animators of certain death battles, they really enjoy my boards. So, since they're going to be following those pretty well so far, I see, you're gonna get some fights. And now you know if something now you know in certain battles, if you see me as a storyboard artist, if something is not to your liking fight wise, you can come to me. Gilgamesh. I want more Kingdom Hearts, to be honest, as well. Ahsoka should have died and become a space hobo. I agree. Her death in the hands of Darth Vader would have been actually really heartfelt, heart-wrenching, heart-punching, heart-destroying in many ways, but nope. She's now a space hobo. good luck with your whole year of animations we've so far. Excited for moving forward. Good luck. Sora versus Naruto equal stats. Oh, equal stats? That's actually a really good fight. Say the absolute truth. Equal stats? Oh, that's a good fight. Okay. Well, yeah, we should probably end things off, probably. Well, I do not have much to do today other than react to the new MLP episode that comes out today, which you will probably see either Sunday at the very latest Monday. We'll see if we can do more live streams like this later down the line. Hopefully get GOAT and other people to show up as well. But my channel is not going to be dead. It's still going to be very much around. I'm just going to be less active as I used to be 7 years ago. But we are going to finish MLP. That is very much going to be a thing. All right. You guys have a good one as well. Hopefully, down the line, well, when the next couple of battles come out, I will be talking about every single battle I work on, especially on a live stream. I will be doing that. Talking about my thought process of how I believe the script should have gone, just so we can have these little moments like this. And then you guys can have your critiques of how I should have done better. This is Drew, and be a Universe. See you guys next time. Bye.